Do you know what the number one regret is for people today about their careers? Stick around and we'll talk about it. I think we can all agree that our careers are very important to us, whether it be deciding on what career to go into, to what decisions we make while we're in the career. It could be small decisions on a day-to-day basis or the bigger decisions on whether or not to stay in the job that you have or to make a move into another job, maybe even to change careers altogether. Maybe it is to start your own business. There's a lot of everyday decisions that go into our careers. And again, they can be small decisions or they can be big, major decisions. The problem that we're seeing today is that too many people don't make those decisions on their own. They rely on other people to make those decisions for them, or they're waiting for external factors to just happen for them to make that decision. You've heard of waiting for the stars to align. Well, it's that kind of approach to making decisions that are getting so many people into trouble today in their careers. And that is the number one regret for most people today, is that they don't take enough initiative in their careers when they're making decisions. Again, they're relying on other people to make decisions, or they sit back and they don't take the opportunity when it's given to them. And because of that, they're falling behind, or they made the wrong decision, or too many chances just pass them by. And it's a big regret for people, and it's a simple solution if you're able to be more assertive and make decisions on your own. So the next opportunity you get, you need to ask yourself, when you're making a decision, who's making this decision? Am I making it, or am I allowing someone else to make that decision for me? And those of you in your careers currently, the problem is when you're not assertive or you don't take the initiative, others pass you by, and you're constantly getting passed over and looked over for opportunities, whether it be promotions or new projects that come in, just advancement in general and just growing in general. You're struggling with because you're not taking enough initiative. I don't know the reasons why you don't take enough initiative, if you feel like you're not good enough, if it's a self-confidence issue, or if you just frankly are too lazy. If you're too lazy, that's a whole other issue that you need to address. But if you do have desires and you do want to move forward in your career, then you've got to take more initiative and you've got to have an assertive mindset in order to do that. It's okay to say no and stop being a yes person to everything you're told and everything you're asked to do. Stop saying yes. There's some things that you have to do. If your manager asks you to do something and it's a part of your job, of course you have to do that. But there's other decisions that you can make that are more strategic that you need to think about. What is the impact on me and my career, and what can I do here that's going to help me? And it's okay to be selfish in that manner, to think about it that way, because you need to stay in control of your career and not allow other people to control it for you. That's what so many people do. And again, I think that that's why the number one regret people are having today about their careers is that they didn't take enough initiative. They always look back and realize, man, if I just would have done that, if I just would have raised my hand, if I just would have spoken up, then things could have changed for me. But I sat back and I didn't say anything and I just went along, or I just said yes to everything. It's okay to say no, and I cannot say that enough. It's okay to say no sometimes when it comes to other people making decisions for you. So how can you be more assertive and how can you take more initiative? Well, I think one good tip is, seems a little contradictory, but trust me here, is to get advice from other people. You're not asking them to tell you what to do and make the decision for you. Absolutely not. That's not what I'm saying. What you're looking for is just some input from them because they know you really well. So this could be a family member, a really close friend, someone that you've worked with for a long time, a classmate if you're in school. You're looking for advice and saying, okay, here's the situation. This is what I'm dealing with. What do you think I should do? And just get their advice. And again, just take it with a grain of salt. And what that means is it's a data point, right? You're making a big decision here, I would assume, or you wouldn't be going to someone for every little small decision. I would hope not. But you want to take that information, or that advice, I should say, that they give you, and then you want to put that into a bucket that's going to help you make the ultimate decision. It's not going to be the decision maker for you. It could be. It could make or break your decision for you, if it's the last step that you take is to get some advice from someone. But what I'm saying is, don't take it as the end-all say-all when you get some advice from someone. Don't allow them to tell you what to do. What you're looking for is just some advice because they know you well It gives you a different perspective, and you never know sometimes that you think you have the answer, and then you get some advice, and it could change your perspective a little bit. But ultimately, you need to make this decision yourself. I want to reiterate that again, that you can't rely on other people to make it for you. So this is an opportunity for you to seek some advice and some counsel from someone that knows you well. Another way that you can take more initiative is before you say yes to anything, or frankly, before you say no to anything, think about it. It could take just 5 minutes to put some thought into something, but don't just automatically blurt out yes. Again, there's going to be some task-oriented things that you have to do at work that there's no yes or no to it. You have to do it. So that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about these decisions that you know have an impact on your career. So stop and think about it, especially if your automatic gut reaction seems to be no. No, I can't do that. Well, stop and think about it. How can this impact my career if I actually do it? Is that why I'm getting left behind? Is that why I feel like I'm hitting a ceiling, is because I say no to these things all the time? You got to think about it in a way that maybe if I said yes to this, it would help me grow and help me move forward in my career versus always saying no. So if you truly want to move forward in your career and you're not the type of person that's just, I'm okay with being in this position for the rest of my career, there are people like that, and I guess that's okay. But for those of you out there that have initiative and that want to move forward but feel like you're being held back for some reason, this could very well be the reason, because you're not thinking about these situations or looking at these opportunities in a way that can help you grow versus them just flat out being hard. Yeah, hard work and uncomfortableness and awkwardness and being vulnerable, all of that are not fun, but they actually help you grow in your career. So before you say no to anything, take a minute, sleep on it if you have to, think about it, really put some thought into it and ask yourself, how is this going to impact my career? The majority of the time, these things that are hard, these things that you know are going to challenge you, it's actually going to help you grow. Almost always, they're going to help you grow. So it's going to be hard to say yes, but saying yes more often when it comes to career growth is a good thing for you to get you ahead in your career. So the opposite to saying yes to more things and doing more things that are a challenge to you and that are going to help you grow is to say no more as well. So there's going to be things to where you feel like you're being pressured to do, and you've got to say no more often when you're in those scenarios. And there's going to be day-to-day decisions that you come across in your career as well that you need to be saying no to if you realize it's going to hold you back or if it's not going to benefit you. And again, I've said this a few times already, but it's important to just make a distinction between the things that you have to do in your job, right? There's things that you have to do. It's a part of your job description. You have to do it. You can't say no to those or you're going to get fired. So, that's not what I'm talking about. There's opportunities, though, that could come up, or situations that come up that they feel like, well, Joe always did that, so I guess we'll just ask Joe. Well, you know what, if you're done doing whatever that is and it's not benefiting you in your career and it's kind of meaningless work, and you do have the opportunity to stand your ground and say no, then do that. Stand your ground and say no. Go to your manager and say, listen, I've been doing this for years. It's really adding no value to my job and my work. I'd like to find something more challenging for me. Do you have any suggestions? Taking that stand is going to, really put you in a better position to grow in your career versus the people that don't speak up and say anything. That's really tough because you're going to be stuck and not going anywhere. So it's important that you say no at certain times to certain things. If you feel really strongly about it, then speak up. And my last tip here is just take inventory of some decisions that you've made so far, and think about some decisions that you made that you feel were bad decisions or that you feel held you back. Again, take inventory on those and realize, what could you have done different? What would have happened if I would have made the other decision, if I would have said yes instead of no, or no instead of yes? And then think about that, and then that's going to help your mind realize that when you're faced with another decision to make, you're going to be thinking about it differently. You're going to be analyzing it because you realized in the past that you did make bad decisions, or, man, if I just would have said yes to that, it would have completely changed my life. And so moving forward, when you're faced with other decisions, major decisions, could be somewhat minor decisions as well, but You're going to be asking yourself, is this another opportunity that I need to really think about here? Because if I say no to this, it's going to have as much of an impact as the last time I said no to something like this. So it just forces you and gets you into a different mindset of analyzing situations versus just blindly saying yes or no. So what do you think? Do you have enough initiative in your career? Is it holding you back when you're not making the right decisions, or you're allowing other people to make decisions for you, or if you're not raising your hand enough to volunteer to do things that are going to push you and help you grow? Is that a problem for you? If so, share it in the comments. I'll be happy to reply and give you some advice. So taking initiative at work is extremely, extremely important, as we talked about here. And I think that it's obviously important because it's a big problem for people. As we talked about, it's the number one regret for people in their careers is that they didn't take enough initiative and do some of the things that they knew would have helped them grow in their career. But it's not too late. So starting today, take the initiative to make decisions on your own, to analyze decisions, be proactive in how you approach your job and your career, look for opportunities to grow, and then pursue them, seek advice if needed, get other people to pitch in and tell you what they think about you and what that impact of that decision could be on you. And then when you gather all of that data, make your final decision yourself. Don't allow other people to make it for you. That's when you'll get ahead. That's when you'll start taking more initiative, and that's when you'll see your career grow.